Good afternoon and happy Friday, everyone. It's Twyla Jenkins. I'm the founder and CEO of the I Am That Woman movement. I'm so happy and blessed to be with you another Friday. We're moving down through January. It's a new year, it's a great year, and today is a great day. So, you all know what we do on Fridays. We bring you great content, wonderful content on all types of subject matters about your health and your wellness. The I Am That Woman movement and retreat is all about helping you live your best life holistically, mind, body, and spirit. We believe that we are here to provide information, resources, and events. Don't forget that our retreat is coming back this year, but and events and information that can help you, inspire you, encourage you, and even influence you to change your thoughts, to make your life the best that it can be, holistically, mind, body, and spirit. So, as you know, we're always working on some form of our mental, emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual health. I hope you guys are joining me today to work on your emotional health. I know I didn't have as much time to promote this week's speaker. Thank God he called me yesterday, and he is a wonderful guest that I'm excited about hosting today. So I hope if you haven't logged on yet, I hope that you will log on soon before the hour of power is up, because Dr. Sheldon Caesar is who I have with us today. And who is Dr. Caesar? Oh my gosh, he is an amazing man here in Chicago, Illinois, on the south side of Chicago. I am so fortunate to have met him maybe 3 or 4 years ago through one of my best mentors, most inspiring mentors, Belle Von Walker. Some of you all know Miss Belle Von. And we were at a Muhammad Ali event, and Dr. Caesar said, "You have any stress? I can alleviate your stress. Come and see me, and I'll help you take all your stress away." And I was like, "Okay." And then about a year later, I did not follow up. I didn't do my due diligence. I needed some office space, and Mr. Walker, Belvon's husband, was fortunate enough to connect me to Dr. Caesar. So I have the double pleasure, even though I'm working from home right now, of having my office inside of his office building. Have you all heard of the KMT Health Store? It's right on 75th Street. It's a beautiful health store. So for those of you who may be dealing with some COVID issues, who may be having some health challenges, and you want to stop taking all of those crazy drugs and all those things that are being prescribed to you, go and see Dr. Caesar, because he has natural and holistic opportunities and options for you to live more holistically. And so you really do want to go and experience him at KMT. And I'll be providing more information about where he is and how to get a hold of him in as we go throughout our show. But without further ado, and again, I hope my faithful followers will join me today. Shai, where you at? Kathleen, where you at? I'm sure you guys will get the announcement in the text and come on board. But without further ado, I want to introduce you all to Dr. Sheldon Caesar. Hey, Dr. Caesar.
Hey, how you doing, Twyla?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Are you just doing great or are you doing fantastic, phenomenal?
I'm actually doing fantastic and phenomenal, because
Okay.
this opportunity has me super excited.
It's nice to be excited. Okay, it's nice to be on your show too. Pleasure having me.
Thank
Even
you.
though you haven't promoted me, okay, I think for somebody in my stature, I should be promoted, okay?
You
And
should have been. It wasn't completely my fault. Unfortunately, my graphic artist, his
Mhm.
hard drive crashed, and so he does all my graphics. So we were trying to put something together. But this won't be our only show. You'll be back. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Okay, and then you can promote me. But whoever's listening, they should tell their friends and family members, okay, to join the show, because if they do have any stress, if they have any worries, fears, anxiety, anything of that nature, we just want to talk about what you should be doing to get rid of the stress. I'll just eliminate it for you live on Facebook. We're on Facebook, or is it Meta now?
We are actually on StreamYard, and we are
StreamYard.
on two platforms, on Facebook and on YouTube.
Okay, then impressive. Okay. You're moving up in the world, okay?
I am moving up in the world. Things are going well. So, Dr. Caesar, as we get started, tell us a little bit about who you are and how you got into emotional healing.
Well, as you mentioned, I'm a physician in Southside Chicago, and I've been here for the last, 1988. I've been in this building practicing medicine. And I've been practicing, I'm board certified in internal medicine. And I've been practicing medicine for 30, 40, almost 40 years now. I
Wow.
tell people I'll never retire, okay? So chances are, okay, they're gonna tell when it's time for me to leave, they're gonna put me in a box and stuff and take me someplace, okay? But in terms of retirement, I have no intention of retiring.
Good.
Mainly, I have no intention of retiring because I really enjoy what I'm doing right now in terms of helping people, helping them with their stress, helping them with giving them alternative to some of the toxic medications that they're taking right now. And especially during a time like this when people are really stressed out and really taxed to their limits, okay, they need help. And so it's really been a pleasure and honor to be working in the community and working with people in general and helping them with their issues. But what I did was, like I said, initially we're doing holistic, I was doing essentially conventional medicine using prescription drugs, okay, to treat my patients. But unfortunately, the prescription drugs that we use, we're really not getting to the root cause of the problems. We're not really healing the patients. And by definition, the physician is supposed to be a healer. And if you go to the physician, if he's not actually not trying to heal your problem, okay, and then you have a problem. You can give you medication to manage the symptoms, to lower your blood pressure, to lower your blood sugar, but that shouldn't be the aim. The aim should be exactly, essentially, to get to the root cause of the problem and heal the patient. And
Hmm.
so I was doing that for 10 years, 15 years, and people would say I'm a great doctor. I have a really good bedside manner, but I know there was something missing. I'm like, this something is not right, okay?
Hmm.
And not only though something's not right, I'm given medications that I know that have toxic side effects. And if you look at in terms of the television, and when they promote these drugs, they tell you all the toxic side effects associated with
Right.
these drugs.
Right.
Now, I'm sitting up here, okay, consider myself intelligent, went to Dartmouth and Ivy League school, okay, and I'm giving patients medications that I know I wouldn't take myself.
Wow.
Now, would you want to go to a doctor who's giving you toxic medication and he wouldn't take it himself? You
No.
probably wouldn't want that, okay?
Right.
And if you were to go to a doctor in general, okay, if you're going to the doctor with some issues, with some problems, would you want to go to the doctor who doesn't give you a medication to put a band-aid on it, to mask the symptoms or essentially get rid of the symptoms and not address the problem?
No.
No, not the average person wouldn't want to do that, okay?
Hmm.
And so I decided I knew I would have to do some searching and find some other alternatives. And so I started looking around and I started looking in terms of herbs and supplements and vitamins and things of that nature. And then I was in a building with a pharmacy. Then the pharmacist closed, okay? And then I said, well, what can we put in here for the community? Someone said, why don't you put a health food store in there? I said, no. So I said, fine, because I had already started leaning towards natural remedies for various diseases. So I put a health food store in there. And then, over the last 15, 18 years it's been there, I've been trying to find products, okay, that work really well to address the root causes of the problem. The truth of the matter is, I think it's an excellent health food store, and we get really, really good results with various ailments. And the patients really like it, the community liking it, it's absolutely fantastic.
Hmm.
But going back in terms of mental and emotional health, most doctors will tell you, okay, that most of the patients that come to see them, they may be coming for high blood pressure, diabetes, things of that nature. They come from cancer, but most of them are stressed out. Even before this pandemic, we've had a mental health crisis before the pandemic in
Hmm.
terms of anxieties, in terms of PTSD, in terms of stress in general, being overwhelmed from the job, overwhelmed from the relationships at home, overwhelmed with their children. This
Yeah.
is not anything new, and it's been getting
Right.
worse and worse and worse over the years. And I had my fair share of stress, okay, even though I deny it right now, okay? I wrote a book on affirmation that talks about it. It's called The Most Powerful Book of Affirmations Ever Written.
Yeah.
And it was some affirmations in general that in terms of trying to help people with their stresses, their fears, and their anxieties. So I went to a conference and they were talking about affirmations, and I was familiar with affirmations in general, but I never used them on a regular basis. But
Hmm.
what you want to do with affirmations and what you want to do with yourself is reprogramming how you're thinking, how you think and feel, okay, on a conscious and subconscious level. And so they at the conference they had a few affirmations that you're supposed to do. And so I started doing affirmations. And I started repeating affirmations to myself, trying to get rid of some of the stresses, some worries, fears, and anxieties. And then they start going away. But they say that you're supposed to, they would go away in a short, and maybe 20 days, 30 days. But I found that my affirmation, when doing my affirmation myself, they would start going away almost instantly. I said,
Wow.
that's strange, okay? And so
Mm-hmm.
I kept doing more affirmations, and I would come to the office, and I would do affirmation with patients. And the patients, they would have their fears and anxieties. I'd do a few affirmations with them, and the anxiety started to go away. I said, that's even more strange. And so I continued doing it, okay? So it's been a very interesting journey of trying to rid myself of negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative feelings, so kind of conscious and subconscious level. Observing myself in certain situations, see how I act and react to certain things. If I don't act appropriately, if I have the negative thoughts and negative feelings, and I just go back home and do affirmation after affirmation until I get rid of those negative thoughts and negative feelings.
Hmm.
And I've done that for almost 8 to 12 hours a day, every day for the last 18 years. Okay.
Wow.
So things are much better now. But the better I get, the easier it is for me to help other people come to me with their stresses, worries, and fears. And the problem we have, and people say, well, you ask the average person, how do you get rid of your stress, your fears, and anxiety? Okay. And we
Mhm.
talked about it before. Okay. People have various ways to get rid of it. They'll do yoga, they'll do meditation, they take
Mhm.
long walks, they exercise. I used to
Sure.
exercise to relieve stress too. But
Yeah.
I came to the realization though, every time I stressed out, I couldn't put on my gym shoes and go run around the block, okay?
Right.
And so I said, I had to find, I'm gonna have to find a different method. But they
Mhm.
do various things, and they'll tell you they do stress, yoga, and exercise and things. But not too many
Right.
will tell you they'll get the bottle and go into a closet and start drinking type stuff. Okay, but they do it too. Okay, they use
Yeah.
drugs, they use alcohol, they use sex, they do all kinds of things. Okay, to try to eliminate their stress.
Yeah.
But the problem is that, and just like when the problem we talked about doctors in general, okay, not getting to the root cause of the problem, okay.
Mhm.
The problem is, and when you do those things, okay, you really don't get to the root cause of the problem. The root cause of
Yeah.
the problem of any stress, any fears, any worries, any anxiety is how you think about it on a conscious and subconscious level. In order to change that, okay, in order to eliminate your stress, your fears and anxieties, and then you're going to have to change the way you think, okay? You're going to have to change the way you think on a conscious and subconscious level. We've been programmed to think and act and feel a certain way. And so we have to, and if you're stressed about something, if you're overwhelmed about something, chances are you're not thinking positive.
Right. Right.
100% of the time you're thinking negative, okay? If
Most
you,
of the time we are thinking negative. And so training how to now, so it's very admirable. Let me back up to a couple things that you said. It's very admirable that when said you went to an Ivy League school and you learned the practice of medicine and what medicine is supposed to do, which is should be a healer. You said a physician should be a healer and not one that just gives you something to maybe mitigate the problem temporarily. And what you found yourself as a physician doing what most physicians do is giving out toxic drugs that only mitigates the problem or maybe eases the pain but doesn't get to the root of the problem. And that's why we have an opioid crisis in the country right now. That's why so many people are dependent on something other than their minds, their consciousness, their subconsciousness to even do healing for themselves because they want to believe, and it's all in, of course, what you believe, that they are sick. Because a lot of times, doctors, of course, when you go and you get a report, the report is, well, you're sick. And so this is what's going to help you, just to deal with being sick. It's not even really a practice of helping you to heal or get to a deeper issue of what the problem is. You pretty much well knew that this is not something or a form of practice of medicine that you wanted to continue to do. You made it up in your mind that if I wouldn't take these drugs, why would I just be in business to help, to help people to do something that really doesn't help people. Did you find during that time that you also knew that the root of what their issues weren't from what the medicines could do? That the root problem really come from our mindset our frame of mind and our belief systems?
You come to that awareness in terms of the root cause in general. Truth in that, truth is the root cause is the mindset, it's your belief system. But in terms of dietary factors, okay, dietary factors are extremely important. And most of the things people say it's the food that's causing the problem, the food that's causing the people to be sick. And then I maintain, yes, it may be the food, but truth is, okay, it's the chemicals in the foods that's causing the problems. And what we need more so than medication, we need to get rid of the chemicals out of the food. We need to get rid of the GMOs. We need to get rid of the pesticides, the herbicides, essentially the humicides. All of those things need to be not taken out of the foods. Because the foods that we're eating right now, okay, because I was brought up, I'm from, I have 10 brothers and sisters, and my family
Me
is from the South,
too.
okay? And the thing about it is, in terms of what I was eating back then, okay. I mean, I would go to Leon to get the rib tips, okay, and the hot links and the white bread and the French fries and stuff and the strawberry pop, okay. I was eating Suzy Q's back then, and I was eating all kinds of junk and all kinds of toxic, what we consider toxic food. But the thing about it is, we weren't sick though.
Right.
We didn't have that epidemic back then of high blood pressure, diabetes, and cancers and things of that nature, okay. It
Uh-huh.
wasn't until they started putting a lot of these chemicals in the foods that really start making us sick. Okay. And
Wow.
so, yes, if we eliminate these chemicals, we probably, I still wouldn't go back to eating those type of foods. I've been a vegan for 27 years now. But we
Right.
have to be very careful in terms of the chemicals that they were putting in the foods. Like I said, we probably need more of an antidote than a prescription. The doctor should be writing antidotes for some of these poison and toxins that we're essentially consuming on a regular basis. But
Wow.
that's why the health food store comes into play too, because and then you have you detox on a regular basis.
Right.
And if you talk to the old timers, okay, or you're not even old timers, okay, I guess I can consider myself an old timer now, okay. But the family did things on a regular basis to stay healthy. We had medicine chests, okay, we had medicine chests. We took cod liver oil, we took the 3 6s, and we took things on a regular basis to stay healthy
And
throughout the
most of
winter.
those things help clean the system out, right? Like most of the time, old
Mm,
school things that our parents and
mm.
grandparents used to use actually helped us to really clean our systems out.
Yeah, because they had toxics back then. They were cleaning the system out during the days of the pharaohs, okay? In ancient Egypt, they were cleaning the system out because they thought it was toxic back then. But now we live in the most toxic time, and people not doing the things that they should to do is to stay healthy. You don't want to wait till you get sick to go to the doctor, okay?
Right.
You should have a medicine cabinet. You should have things in your medicine cabinet that can help you in terms of prevent to essentially start your journey of healing yourself before you go to the physician. And that's what
Yeah.
we should be doing, but we've gotten away from that. Okay.
We
And
have
back
gotten away from that, but your store can even help you to detox. I put in the chat the detox on a regular basis. And what's
mhm.
that regular basis? Should we be detoxing our bodies once a quarter, twice a year? What would you call a regular basis of detoxing
Well,
our systems?
truth of the matter is, I think times have changed. People say they do it every quarter, maybe 3 times a year or 4 times a year. But the food that you should be eating on a regular basis, okay, and making sure you have an elimination. The food that you should be eating, the herbs that you should be taking, should be detoxing your body every day, okay. You may not go to a whole regimen every day, but any food that you're eating, okay,
Mm.
the body should be detoxing itself.
What
If
are
you,
some of those foods?
well, I guess that's when the patients come and they ask me what should they be eating type stuff.
Hmm.
And then,
Hmm.
when they ask me that, what I'm thinking is you grown, you should be knowing what you eat by now, okay? 30, 40, 50 years
Hmm.
old, asking me what you should be eating, okay? That's what I say in my mind, okay? And then I also say, well, you can go, you're on your telephone all the time, you're on the internet, Facebook type stuff. Why don't you just go do some research and tell you what you're eating, okay? We can tell patients what they shouldn't be eating. They know they shouldn't be eating processed food. They shouldn't be drinking beverages. They shouldn't be, pops and stuff. They shouldn't be running to Kentucky Fried Chicken, things of that nature. They should be eating healthy foods, more vegetables and fruits and things of that nature. And then also in terms of protein. protein is extremely important, especially as we age. We have to have enough protein in our system. And where can we get our protein from? I suspect in terms of from animals, okay, it's not a good idea to get most of your protein from animals, especially when you're cooking the animals. And you
Yeah.
cook it, you denature it, you're losing a lot of the nutrients, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, I do in terms of what should be eating, grains, sweet potatoes, beans, things of that nature, getting protein. But I do like hemp hearts, though, hemp seeds. I think
Mm.
hemp seeds is probably the best source of protein that I found. And you really need the protein because the body takes the protein and breaks it up into amino acids. And the amino acids essentially, okay, is essential for building your bones and building your hormones and providing your immune system with the things that it needs to keep it strong. So those are things that you should be eating, and there's some things that you should be staying away from.
Okay.
Okay, but
All right.
in
Go
terms
ahead.
of going back to stress, and then we
Mm-hmm.
have to reprogram people on, like I said, on a subconscious level. And I was doing the affirmations. I had a lawyer friend come to me one time, and I did affirmations with him on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
And I had Muhammad Ali come to see me too. I had the pleasure of doing affirmations with him too. That was a
Yeah.
great experience about 15
Yeah.
years. And then a friend of mine said, see, he said, well, we're talking about affirmation. He said, well, why don't you write a book on affirmation since you're the world expert on affirmation? I said, when did I become the world expert on affirmation? But somebody believed that I was the world expert on affirmation. Fine, I'll write a book on affirmation. I wrote a book on affirmation, and it works really well. Not just the words itself, but you have to. Everyone has that energy signature, and I have my own energy signature too. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'll put energy in the words so when they read the book, okay, they can actually feel themselves changing on the spot. So it's a really
Mm.
powerful book. Okay? Yeah. And then in terms of doing affirmation with patients, I tell people I'm the world expert at treating stress. And they say, "Oh, you are?" I say, "Yes, I am." I say I can eliminate anybody's stress, worries, fears, PTSD, okay, within 5 or 10 minutes. And they look at me like I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy
No,
though.
you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not. And we're going to go through that process today. You're going to do a
Yeah.
little of that with me. I found myself earlier going through a situation, and
Mhm.
I was reminded that I'm going to have a Dr. Caesar's moment
Mhm.
this afternoon. And so I took a deep breath and inhaled and exhaled. But let me talk about this book, the most powerful book of affirmations ever written. So this is Dr. Sheldon Caesar's book, you guys. You can buy it in his store at 233 East. I was going to give my address, 233 East 75th Street, or they can buy it online, right? They can contact you and get it. This book, Dr. Caesar, I think I told you last year, we being the I Am That Woman movement and retreat,
Mhm.
started doing meditation and prayer every morning from 5:30 to 6:30. So from 5:30 to 6, we do our
Mhm.
meditation. I do a guided
Okay.
meditation. And then from 6 to 6:30, we do prayer, and different people pray, and we take prayer requests and pray.
Mhm.
I will tell you that without a shadow of a doubt,
Mhm.
that doing your affirmations every day have been life changing. So we were
Okay.
discussing it a little bit right before the show started. And this month, I generally take however the spirit leads me. But this month, as we started a new year,
Mhm.
our word is confidence. And so I went to, and sometimes I will just thumb through the book and whatever kind of resonates with my spirit. And as God will lead me, I choose. And then sometimes God will give me the word, and then I go to your book to find
Mhm.
if the word is in here. So for this year, it was confidence. And we do about five affirmations after
Mhm.
going through some deep breathing exercise, some neck and shoulder exercises. Then we come into stillness and quietness. And then I repeat each affirmation 3 times slowly,
Mhm.
allowing each person to
Mhm.
recite it after me. Then and we do about five at a time, and we do it all week. So I do the same five affirmations all week. I was sharing with you that I had a client situation
Mhm.
that I didn't know I was going to have to lead a project.
Mhm.
And then something happened with the client, and I ended up having to lead the project. And it's a whole lot more than what I thought it was going to be, but that was okay.
Mhm.
These confidence affirmations have just really helped me in leading my meetings
Mm,
and just forming the meeting agendas and just really helping me to believe all that I need to believe and have and the confidence. I just
mm,
feel it. It's just
mm.
a feeling that I have. And to your point, while you're working on your affirmations, did you say 8 to 12 hours a day?
Yes,
Eight
every
to
day,
12
okay?
hours a
And that's
day.
between taking care of the children, okay, and working at health food store and working, working in the office.
Right. And
Very
so, and that's just repeating them and saying them consciously and subconsciously.
well. In terms of with me, I really want to get to a point where I really don't have to repeat the same affirmation more than once, okay?
Right.
Because what you're trying to do with the affirmations is to imprint the affirmation into the subconscious mind. You have the conscious mind, which has limitations. You have the subconscious mind, which has no limitations. And so once you get that information imprinted into the subconscious mind, then you should be on autopilot. So what me is what I was doing with myself, okay, is making sure it is imprinted in the subconscious mind, and then just examining my life, observing my life in general, and see how I act, like I said, in a certain situation, react, and see how I feel, and then try to do an affirmation to make sure if that situation comes up again, and then I act a certain way, act a way that I want to act, and feel a certain way I want to feel. The whole thing with the pandemic, okay, we don't want to wish anything bad on anybody in terms of bad experiences, okay, in terms of traumatic and experiences like we have right now. But what this does when we go through things like this, it gives you an idea of what you were doing, your coping skills, whether or not your coping skills were effective,
Mm.
whether or not in terms of whether or not your meditation was effective, your religious belief was effective, which gives us an idea are you, whatever you're doing, are you on the right path, or are you essentially prepared for anything that comes your way? And if people are more stressed out right now than they've ever been stressed out before, if they're having difficulty to cope, if they're feeling overwhelmed, and then they're going to have to evaluate their belief system and their coping skills and should make some changes. And that's what we want to do. You want to make some changes. And then mainly, like we've said before, it's going to be the changing in terms of how you think and what you believe.
Wow. So that's powerful. Your coping skills and your belief systems, it's what it really comes down to navigating right now. The stresses, the pandemic, illnesses. People talk all the time about, if you get COVID, how your immune system has been compromised. So we
Mm-hmm.
really have to focus in on our coping, you said, and our
Mm-hmm.
belief system. Tell me
Yeah.
a little bit more about realizing how we cope with what's going on in the world today.
How we cope with it, what I said in terms of your belief system, your coping skills. Now we essentially train ourselves, okay, to set certain goals, and we go to the gym using using machines, using the treadmill to get our physical body strong. But we should be trying to do the same thing with our emotional and mental and spiritual bodies. Those
Right.
things are extremely important. That's why I say I spend 8 to 12 hours trying to recondition myself, trying to reprogram myself. So if a situation comes up, okay, how I'm going to act in the situation, how am I going to act in a catastrophe, okay? How am I going to act if someone pulls the rug out from underneath me or pull the rug out from under my children? I tell people I'm going to react the same way. I'm going to react from a position of strength and positivity. I'm going to be strong, I'm going to be positive, and whatever comes my way, no matter what it is, okay, this is how I'm going to
Oh, is
react.
that my internet? Okay.
Uh, you can
Wow.
hear me? Yeah.
Yes, I lost you for a minute, but yes. So this is how
Yeah.
you're gonna. So
This
so
is how
knowing, yeah.
Yeah, so no matter what comes up, okay, a pandemic happens today or a pandemic happened 10 years ago, 10 years from now, how my mental status is going to be? Am I going to keep a positive mental attitude no matter what happens? If someone tells me you lost your job, okay, a question I would ask, okay, in terms of thinking positive all the time, when is it appropriate to think negative?
Wow.
Mm? And it's
Mm.
usually, most people will agree, there's no time is it appropriate to think negative. But if
Right.
you're overwhelmed, if you're stressed, if you're not coping with what's going on right now, you're not thinking positive.
So
And so,
let's get into it. Let's do some brain work, right? So, like you said, when we go to the gym, we're working out, we're lifting weights, we're doing physical, but we
mhm,
don't do that mental. We don't
mhm,
do those mental exercises
mhm,
to help us learn how to deal with our coping mechanisms and our belief systems
mhm,
mentally and emotionally, and
mhm,
how we learn how to train our mind, our conscious and our
mhm,
subconscious,
mhm,
and what we're thinking about. As
mhm,
my sister said, sometimes Christians think that even meditating is a form of, like Buddhism. And as a Christian, I can't meditate. But the word of God, even if you're a believer, says that that is what we should be doing. And that
mhm,
meditating, even on God, which is a positive, spirit of light, that it's
mhm,
it's positive, it's not anything negative, will help you in knowing how to cope with life. So you
mhm,
said that you're gonna teach us some things today on
mhm.
literally how to alleviate our stress.
Well, did I say I was going to teach you or I'm going to eliminate your stress?
You said you're gonna eliminate my stress.
We're going to eliminate your stress. I'll eliminate your stress
Okay.
and anyone else who's listening, okay? Well, hopefully you're not driving the car because I'm gonna have you close your eyes, and unless you're really good, okay, in terms of to it, and connected with your higher self, you'll be able to navigate that car with your eyes closed, okay. But not too many people have advanced to that level. I haven't advanced to that level yet either, you
Okay.
know. But so I have a few questions, the same questions I'll ask my patients nowadays. They come and see me and they say they're really, really stressed out, they're overwhelmed, they can't make it anymore, okay. So, Twyla, have you ever had any stress before in your life?
Are my eyes closed or open?
You're open now. Just so I'm
Oh,
asking
okay.
questions.
Okay.
Now we're just asking questions. Have you ever
Okay.
had any stress in your life?
Yes.
You have. Have you ever worried about anything?
Yes.
You have. Have you ever been upset or angry?
Yes.
You ever been having any bad experiences at all?
Yes.
You have. You've ever had a bad day?
Yes.
What about money challenges?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you have.
I have.
So you're up until now, your life hasn't been perfect. Okay,
It is not.
it hasn't been.
No.
Okay. Okay. Close your eyes then. Okay, and just
Hmm.
relax. Anyone else that's listening, just close your eyes and relax. You feel extremely powerful and positive. You feel extremely powerful and positive. You're more powerful and positive than you've ever been in your life. You're relaxed and powerful and positive. And every day you expect to get better and better, stronger and stronger, more and more positive. You feel good about your life. You feel good about your life. In fact, you have never been stressed a day in your life. You have never been stressed. You have never been stressed. You have never worried about anything. You're fearless now. You're fearless and strong and brave. You have never been afraid. You have never been afraid of anything in your life. You have never been afraid of anything in your life. Any obstacle that put in your path, you were able to overcome. Any obstacle that anyone put in your path, you were able to cope. You have always been able to cope with anything that came your way, and you will always be able to cope with anything that comes your way. You've always been strong. You've always been phenomenal. You've always been positive. You've never been frustrated by anything. You've never been frustrated by anything. You've never had a bad experience in your life. You've never had a bad experience in your life. Your life up until now has been absolutely perfect. Everything has always gone completely the way you want it to go. Everything has always gone completely the way you want it to go. You've never been angry. You've never been sad. You've never been upset. You've always been at peace. You have never done any harm to anyone, and no one's ever harmed you. You have always been forgiving, and you've forgiven everyone for everything, and everyone's forgiven you from everything. You've always been patient. You've always been tolerant. You've always been understanding. You've always been flexible. You've always been adaptable. You've always been fantastic and great inside. You feel like a superhero. You feel like a superwoman. You feel like you can handle anything that comes your way. You feel like you can cope with anything that comes your way. You believe in yourself. You believe in yourself. You believe in your God. You believe in your religion. You believe that everything is going to go exactly the way you want it to go. You prepare for anything. You have always been prepared for anything that happens, and you will continue to be prepared for anything that happens. Okay, Twilight, I think I lost you. Hello? Okay, Twyla. I don't know if we got disconnected. I don't know if we're still still streaming. It looks like I'm live, but I don't know if Twyla's there. So maybe I'll give Twyla a call and see whether or not what's going on. But I no longer see Twyla, and I don't know if we're still streaming. But if we are streaming, I hope everybody's doing wonderful. I hope everyone benefited from the affirmations. And hopefully one of these days, Twyla will show back up. Maybe she just disappeared.
Dr. Caesar, that has never happened before.
What was that all about? What happened?
My internet completely disconnected, went off, told me that I couldn't connect, but I was so at peace. I know usually I would have been fussing and cussing, and I was like, you know what? It's going to come back in time and I'm
Mm-hmm.
okay. So what you were doing was definitely working. I have no idea how my whole internet went out, but I appreciate the peace in which I had when it
Okay.
went out because I thought it was your internet. I opened my eyes and there was nothing on my computer. I was
No, I was still here, okay? But now the question
well,
is, how do you feel right now?
I feel great. Actually, we didn't even get to finish, but I do.
Yeah.
I feel, you know, what I love when I have these sessions with you.
Mm-hmm.
What I love is what I visualize.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I'm a manifester and I know I'm a visualizer. And so when you were talking and you were talking about how, I've never had any stress or obstacles in life. And
Mm-hmm.
I was a runner in high school. And so I just saw myself running and just being
Mm-hmm.
free. And I saw myself as a child and,
Mm-hmm.
just really, and it happens in such an instantaneous moment, the
Mm-hmm.
experience from the time you start talking as I'm
Mm-hmm.
relaxed to, coming out of it and how you feel. And it's like, yeah, if you ask me those same questions. So I know we didn't get to, again, that has never happened before where my
Right.
internet has like completely gone out. But all things being good and well, I think it was perhaps an experience
Mm-hmm.
that I even had to have in a moment that could have been very stressful and
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my God, what's going on? I didn't even have that. I was like, you
Yeah.
know what? It's going to connect again. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
come back on. I
Mm-hmm.
even laughed a little bit.
Okay.
Like, are you serious? Did my whole internet just go out? And
Mm-hmm.
so tell me about that process. What did you just do?
In terms of what we're talking about, programming the subconscious mind, um, I have a gift. You know, I have a gift, and I can connect with your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind will listen to me, and if I reprogram, okay, and then if I was to tell your subconscious mind that you have never had any fears or anxieties, associated with those fears and anxieties is an emotion. It's a negative emotion, some negative thoughts. But if I was to tell your subconscious mind that it never happened, then it has to get rid of all those fears. It has to get rid of all those anxieties. It has to get rid of the stress, and it has to put it. Now you're in a mindset, okay, that in the past I've been able to overcome everything that obstacle that somebody put in my path, and now I'm in a mindset that I can continue doing that. But it gets become a lot more interesting too, because when we first started, you would say, yes, I had stress, I had worries, I had fears, anxiety, and things of that nature, okay. Now, if you were to write your book, okay, with that mindset, okay, in the next few chapters of your book, okay, in terms of your life in general, that mindset, that book would be a little bit different than if you were to write the book right now with the present mindset. Because right now, you don't feel like you've ever had any stress, do you?
I know.
You don't feel, what do you fear right now?
What do I what?
Fear, fear,
Nothing.
nothing, okay?
Yeah.
And then in terms of if you don't feel like you've ever had any problems, have you?
No.
Yeah. And so that's the mindset that you want to have, okay? When you face problems or situations in the future, or if you want to write the next few chapters of your life,
Yeah.
that's the mindset you want to have.
Yeah. Wow, that's powerful.
Okay.
So it's something that we need to do daily. I mean, I
And
again,
this is permanent. What I just did
it's
with you is
permanent.
permanent.
It's
Okay.
permanent.
You can do those. There's other affirmations that I could use and working on your belief system, things of that nature. You can make up your own type thing. Okay. Depending on the situation. But
Mhm.
essentially, I did the heavy lifting already.
You did the
Okay.
heavy lift. It's
Yeah.
amazing at how instantaneous the feeling and the transition. And I would love for anyone else who is listening in who went through the exercise, Valerie Shy, anyone else who was able to close their eyes and answer those questions or to listen to him. What was your own experience, and how long does it take? Like generally, when you're in a session with the client, because we know that we're going to give your information and we want others to talk about to contact you and to have this experience for themselves. How long
Mhm.
do you usually work with someone?
Well, it depends. Well, I must admit, I'm at a. I consider myself at a level right now that if you would go to a social worker, a counselor, or a psychologist, psychiatrist, chances are you would probably have to go there multiple sessions. It depends upon the issues or problems that you have.
Mhm.
But my goal was to make sure that anyone who comes to see me for any problem, I should be able to take care of it in less than 15 minutes, no matter how long they've had it. And truth is, I say 15 minutes so people can think it's believable. I can do it in less than 15 minutes. It doesn't matter what problem it is. Because what happens is that when you're trying to resolve a problem on a conscious level, the conscious mind, has limitations. And so, with the limitations of the conscious mind, you may have to go to psychologists. People have gone to therapists for 10, 15, 20 years working on the same problem, and they
Mhm.
still have the same problem. They're still suffering with the PTSD. They're still suffering with what somebody did with them 40, 50, 60 years ago. That's on a conscious level. The
Mhm.
subconscious level, okay, that imaginary, magical type realm, okay, things can happen in a fraction of a second.
So the
Okay?
subconscious level is the root, right?
You can consider that in terms of the operating system, the hard drive, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, but yeah,
Mhm.
once you get into there, that's where you want to start doing all the programming. So when people repeat their affirmations, they can repeat their affirmation over and over and over and over again. They won't get results until their affirmation has been accepted by the subconscious mind. That's when the people say you reap what you sow. Okay, you're planting seeds. You're trying to plant the seeds into the subconscious mind. Once that seed is planted and it starts to grow, then you should reap what you sow.
And how do you plan it in the subconscious mind?
For some people, repetition over and over and over again. Okay, in terms of affirmation, some people go to a hypnotherapist and try to get that planted in the subconscious mind. And if they're wise, okay, if they're wise and they really really have it together, then they come to me.
I'm
I
glad
go,
I'm wise and I really have it together because my life has been changed with your most powerful book of affirmation.
okay.
But I want to keep really focusing on the subconscious. I think that's integral. I mean, I think that's the most important thing that we can do. You said something yesterday, and I think someone even said it in the chat. Is we're not taught about our subconscious in our conscious. Why do you think? Why aren't we? Why aren't we taught literally how to get to the root of what it is that we need to change in our lives, whether it's financial,
Mm-hmm.
emotional. I love that your book of affirmations deals with some serious issues: sex abuse, um,
Mm-hmm.
addictions. It's not just my life is happy, my life is happy, my life is happy, and your life is happy. You literally do have some powerful affirmations in this book that deals with issues that our lives may have gone through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's important. We have to deal with all those things, okay, in terms of, because we've gone through some things. And
Yeah.
so I want to make the book, comprehensive so people can, they have various issues in their lives. They can go to various chapters and they can read about it and they can try to change. I tell people they should probably go through the book, even the sections that they don't have any problems with, because in terms of how do you reach the subconscious mind when we're at a very young, okay, very young age, which is very critical, we can put a lot of information. Children don't have, the conscious mind is a filter to the subconscious mind. in terms of what it lets in and what it inhibits or prohibits from getting in. As a child, a lot of information can be essentially instilled and printed into the subconscious mind. So we really don't know what information has been put in the subconscious mind, what the subconscious mind has accepted as a child. Things that may not even have happened. So as a child, you could have been watching television, okay, you could have been listening to certain things, and it's all those things that be imprinted to the subconscious mind, and then you started having thoughts and feelings. You wonder where is this stuff coming from, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Those things you're watching television, you're reading books and stuff, and it's just they can sneak that stuff into the subconscious mind. And you wonder what's going on. But in terms of you're trying to, but when these feelings come up and these thoughts come up, and then you know they're there. Once they're there, and then you have to reprogram it. And so the only way to reprogram a negative thought is with a positive thought. And you have to continue that positive thought, continue that vein, to continue repeating that affirmation, whatever, over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
until that negative thought goes away.
Okay,
Okay.
so repeating affirmations helps to reprogram the subconscious mind.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I want
Yeah.
to make
That's
sure
what
I
you're
have
trying
this
to do. You're trying to reprogram. Yeah, you're using the affirmations or using statements or writing stories, but you want to do it over and over again until you can actually feel that whatever issue that you were dealing with, okay, is no longer an issue. Okay.
right. Okay, I'm trying to. I'm writing notes. I'm taking notes for them and for me because I really, when you say eliminate stress and eliminate our past problems and issues and concerns, I really want to make sure that we understand how to do this. But the most important thing that we can do is to contact Dr. Caesar, and I hope that you guys are still with me. My internet, again, has never done this before. I'm right next to my modem, so I have no idea why I'm having internet issues, but nonetheless, I'm going to show how to contact Dr. Caesar again. It looks like he's frozen on my screen. Hopefully, you guys can still hear me. Dr. Sheldon Caesar can be reached at 773-621-9781 or at his email, stcaesar md at aol.com, as well as visit him at KMT Health Food Store, which is located at 233 West 75th Street. I lost him, but hopefully he'll be back. Um, does he do virtual appointments? Yes, he does. He does do virtual appointments. He does phone calls, virtual appointments, anything that you need to help your mental and emotional wellness to be healed, to eliminate stress, even if you have been diagnosed with anything like PTSD, anxiety disorders, stress disorders. We had a meeting yesterday and he was telling me about all the things that he can help with. And so, whether they're past traumas and dramas or things that you're going through now, Dr. Caesar can help you to provide you with how to change your subconscious, how to literally eliminate your stress and any other discomfort or illness that you may have and be dealing with. So, yes, he does. All right, I lost him. Hopefully, you guys can still see me. I don't know what's going on with the internet today. They turned on 5G the other day in the airwaves. So maybe that's it. I don't know. But I'm so happy. And I hope that you guys were able to experience the session that he was taking me through to feel better and to not feel like I've had any past traumas and dramas. And I pray that my subconscious hangs on to that. You guys know what we're all about. We are here to provide you with resources and information. And there's Dr. Caesar again. Yay, he came back in. Hey, Dr. Caesar.
Hey, Twyla.
If
So,
it's your internet, it's my internet. I don't know.
mhm.
Had a question. Do you do virtual appointments?
Yes, for emotional healing, yes, I do virtual appointments. Just call my office. The number is 773-846-1200. 773-846-1200. You can call my office and they'll set something up.
Perfect. Yes, he does do. And someone said your voice was hypnotic. So I think that sultry voice helps us to really take it into our subconscious and believe it. Okay. Any closing thoughts that you want to share, Dr. Caesar, about how we change our subconscious or how we really eliminate our stress and our belief, changing our
Mm.
belief systems.
Like I said, if you can get into, if you can continue repeating your affirmation, that belief system is extremely, extremely important. Okay, people talk about in terms of the feelings, emotions, the thoughts, but the beliefs. If you can change the way you believe, if you can actually believe that if whatever comes your way, you will be able to handle it. Okay, if you believe that you can accomplish anything that you set your mind to, if you believe that essentially you're stronger than the strongest. Okay, you want to believe those things. You want to talk to yourself. You want to talk positive to yourself at all times. Pump yourself up, pump your friends up, pump everybody up. Just keep it positive type thing. And believing that you whatever you're going through, okay, everything at the end, everything is gonna work out wonderful. It's gonna be beautiful. And you're gonna come out stronger, okay, than when you went in. Just keep believing it.
Just
Okay?
just keep believing it, keep saying it,
Mm-hmm.
keep changing that subconscious. I love that you said that the conscious mind is a filter to the subconscious mind, and we have to keep feeding our conscious and our subconscious mind. So this has been so helpful. I hope you, is there any more questions for Dr. Caesar before we close out? I hope you guys have enjoyed today's session as much as I have. It's been a reminder to me. I'm not in my office anymore. I got to come over there.
Okay.
It's been a reminder to me about how powerful our thought processes and our reactions and our belief systems are. We really, really can deal with anything that's going on in the world according to what we believe and how we feel and what we say. And so it's so important for us to stay positive, and it's so important for us to feed our minds in our subconscious, as with what you can do with his book. I'm trying to show it, the most powerful book of the most powerful book of affirmations ever written. And you can see I love these images day and night. This is what you need to do. Focus on what you're feeding yourself, what you're telling yourself. It's been life transformational for me. Thank you, Dr. Caesar. I
Okay. Thank
appreciate
you.
you. You'll be back. We'll have more because I'll have more time to promote you when my graphic
Oh,
artist computer is working again.
okay then.
We'll have you back. And then we should do a session. We should do a live session over in the conference room. And
Okay,
so
sounds
I
good.
would love to have that. All right. Thank you
Okay.
so much and have a wonderful weekend. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's session. Dr. Caesar was amazing. I hope you learned something about your conscious and your subconscious and the importance of what you are speaking over your life, what you are saying to yourself, what you are believing. That can change your life. We say it all the time, but we don't practice it. We really don't do it enough. So go and see Dr. Caesar if you really need to know more about how to do that, believing in yourself, loving yourself. I'm telling you, this book has been a life changer for me. Get the book, call Dr. Caesar, have a session, do a virtual session, go and see him. If you need herbs and vitamins, I'm sure they'll be more than happy to ship those to you as well. Visit his website, drcaesar.com. There's information that you can find on there. I should have shared my screen when I had Dr. Caesar online. This is his website. You guys can see he even mentioned that he did a session with Muhammad Ali. There's Dr. Caesar and Muhammad Ali. But this is what he does: holistic and integrative health. So you can read all about him, some of the reviews on his website. Go and see and find out more information. If you are dealing with any type of stress, any type of PTSD, any type of anxiety, trust you me, seeing Dr. Caesar will change your life. It is priceless and he's very affordable. Get his book, the most powerful book of affirmations ever written. It has definitely changed my life. So go and uh, uh, go to his website, drcaesar.com, and get more information, and you will not be disappointed with the results. And if we do something in person, I'll be sure to let you guys know. All right. Well, you also know that we have some other resources for you. If you are dealing with stress and anxiety, we want to make sure that we give you a support system. Here at the I Am That Woman Movement and Retreat, we provide information, resources, events, and programs to help you mitigate that. And so, what we want you to do is to join us on Monday morning for prayer and meditation. We'll be going through confidence. That's what we've been talking about. That's what we're affirming this month. You can build your confidence. by using Dr. Caesar's book. So join us for morning mindfulness, 605-313-5104. There's that access code 345235 pound. Join me and Dr. Portia Lockett as she leads us into prayer. It's an hour of power. I know it's early, but the word even tells us to rise early and seek the Lord. So we want to get up at 5:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. It's only an hour of power. Join us on the conference line and you will not be disappointed. It is life transformational. And that's what we're working on this year. We are transforming lives. Also, get ready, set, and go because we are coming back for the I Am That Woman movement in retreat. I know I opened up the image trying to find it. There it is. Yes, October. We have plenty of time, but not enough time. Don't wait till the last minute. Make sure that you register now. Go to our website, www.iamthatwomanretreat.com, and register for October 26th through the 30th. Get your deposits in. It's only a $300 non-refundable deposit, but go ahead and get your deposits in. The rooms are opening soon. I'm telling you, it's limited availability, 100 women. Do not wait till the last minute. We have had some powerful, amazing speakers. We're going to have that again this year, so you do not want to miss out. www.iamthatwomanretreat.com. Join us on social media. If you need information, you can email us at info@iamthatwomanretreat.com, and we'll be more than happy to give you some more information. All right, that wraps us for today. I really do hope Dr. Caesar blessed you because I know he blessed me, and I hope to hear you Monday morning on our prayer line for that hour of power. Have a very blessed weekend and a beautiful evening. Stay safe, stay protected, keep your mask on, keep your social distancing, wash, mask, and distance. All right. Have